Today we're diving into what might just be a massive breakthrough in self-driving cars. And we're going to see it through the eyes of one of the people who actually built the thing. His reaction? Well, it's pretty surprising.
Basically, I'm amazed. I mean, that's a heck of a statement. Andrej Karpathy ran AI at Tesla for 5 years. He's one of the sharpest minds in this entire field. So when a guy like that says he's amazed, you gotta stop and ask, what on earth could impress someone who has seen it all from the inside?
So here's the scene. Karpathy gets a new Tesla and does the one thing he probably did thousands of times before. He takes its full self-driving system out for a spin. But this wasn't just another test drive. This was him looking at years of his own work with fresh eyes.
Now, to really get why his reaction is so huge, we have to rewind the clock. Karpathy remembers his first day at Tesla almost a decade ago, driving a super early version of the software. And the experience? Let's just say it was not great. It was a constant fight with the car.
The system was just so fragile. He said he had to jump in and take over every single time the road just curved a little bit or went up or down a hill. It's kind of wild to think about how basic the technology was back then. It couldn't even handle the simplest driving tasks. And check this out. This was their baseline. The development process was this super painstaking grind. Karpathy says on any short drive, just around his neighborhood, he'd come back with a list of 20 different moments where the AI messed up and needed to be fixed. Every single time.
Okay, so let's fast forward to his recent drive. After being away from the day-to-day for a while, he takes the brand new version for a spin on those exact same streets. And what he saw wasn't just a small step up, it was a total transformation. This right here is the core of it. Perfect drive, no notes. I mean, coming from a guy whose entire job was to find flaws, who was used to finding 20 problems on a quick trip, to say no notes, that is just a massive, massive statement. The system went from failing all the time to just working perfectly. Zero. From 20 problems per drive down to zero. It wasn't just a feeling, the number tells the story. He went out there looking for things to fix, just like old times, and he came back with absolutely nothing. And we're not talking about driving on some easy, empty road. Karpathy watched this car handle stuff that he says he used to lose sleep over just a few years ago. It wove through construction, it nailed dangerous left turns, it handled a tricky four-way stop, and it even squeezed into heavy traffic. It basically did everything a good human driver would do, but with this smooth, almost eerie confidence. And on the highway, the feeling was even stronger. He said it didn't even feel like being in a car. It felt like being a passenger in some kind of futuristic maglev train. The car was just so perfectly centered, so smooth. And that's not just about the car working. That's about a feeling of trust, a feeling of safety. So how? How did this happen? What was the secret sauce that allowed this huge leap? Well, the answer isn't just a few better lines of code, it's a complete shift in thinking. It's this move from what's called Software 1.0 to Software 2.0. See, the old way, Software 1.0, was all about rules. Engineers would literally sit there and try to write code for everything. Okay, if a car is double parked, then do this. If the light is yellow, then do that. It was brittle, it was insanely complex, and you could never ever account for all the chaos of the real world. The new way is a whole different ballgame. Instead of writing endless rules, they built one giant neural network. Think of it like a driving brain, and they just showed it tons and tons of real-world video. The AI learns to drive, not because it was told what to do, but because it watched millions of hours of humans driving correctly.
And this comparison really lays it all out. You're going from explicit rules to learned behavior. You're shifting from a system that gets better by hiring more engineers to a system that gets better by feeding it more data. You're ditching all that rigid C++ code for a flexible learning neural net. It's a fundamental change.
So the process itself is pretty elegant, really. The car just takes in about 30 seconds of video and other data. That single big brain processes it all at once, and out come the commands. Steer here, accelerate now. It's one system that sees the world and then acts on it.
And this right here is where the story gets so much bigger. Because according to Karpathy, what we're witnessing isn't just a better way to make a car drive, it's the beginning of something much, much bigger.
He literally asks this question. Are people getting this yet? And you can tell he's talking to all of us. He's kind of waving a flag here, saying that we might be missing the real story. The perfect drive isn't the point. It's the proof that a whole new era of technology actually works.
And here's the big takeaway. The tech they built to make a car drive, the way it sees, the way it understands, the way it decides, none of that is actually specific to a car. What they've really built is a blueprint, a general-purpose recipe for building any intelligent robot at a massive scale.
And these are the ingredients in that recipe. We're talking about systems that can build a 3D model of the world just from video, simulators where an AI can dream and practice for millions of miles, and these huge general-purpose AI brains. These are the building blocks for any robot that has to move around in our messy, complicated world.
Which all leads to this final, kind of mind-blowing thought. Maybe we shouldn't be thinking about this as just a really advanced car. Maybe what we're looking at is the first mass-produced, truly intelligent robot operating in the most complex environment we have. And if that's true, what comes next?